Good evening and welcome to the Anti-Stall Racing GT3 Race 5 live from Daytona. I'm James Parfait. I'm going to guide you through the action this evening, and joining me in the booth is the man very shortly called Biggles, and on production tonight we have Wiz in the background doing its magic. So there you go. That is us this evening. I hope everybody's well. We broadcast live on the Anti-Stall Racing YouTube channel and using iRacing, the world's premier simulator. So there you go. Let's bring in our man Biggles into the booth. Biggles, how are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. Short flight, not too far actually to head up into Daytona. For me, a little bit further for you guys, of course. But yes, welcome to the United States of America. Welcome to a classic oval track that then go into the interior and then turn it into a couple of left-hand, right-hand corners. And currently we have a grid of about, say, what are we looking at?
22, I believe.
22, yeah. So this should be definitely nice and spicy. Race 5 here in the GTR Season 2.
Yep, and in round 4 we had Luigi Despolino. He won by 3 seconds from Leon Erger. 7 seconds from Leon Erger, who took second place, and then in third place, a further 3 seconds back, was Oystein Højfeldt. Now, I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, I deeply apologise. Norwegian names are not the strongest part of us British broadcasters there, Biggles. I don't know how you get on yourself.
With a lot of struggling. I'm the biggest butcher of names after a couple of this season. Yeah, I've kind of checked with some of the drivers and give them nicknames, mate. That's how you get on with it. Give them nicknames. Unless they say anything to you about it, otherwise it's just fine.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go, as we can see here with, we've just gone over to Luigi Despolino there, to be fair, in his Lamborghini. Now, Biggles, it's Daytona. Probably not much passing on the infield, maybe if you're brave going into the horseshoe, but generally it's going to be out on the long oval curves of 8 and 12. Maybe the odd one might dive up into the bus stop at 9, 10 and 11. What do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to be the main action this evening?
I'm not 100% sure, mate. I'm not that familiar with this track so much. So that's more of a question for you out there. I think I've just recently getting into a lot of the iRacing, so I don't know the tracks like the back of my hand like you guys do. But I guess after a few laps into the race, I'll probably start getting a good indication of where.
Yeah, mate, the long oval curves, dude. The long oval curves on 7, 8, going down into the bus stop, and then from 11, 12 down the start-finish straight. That's probably where we're going to see most of them. Partly because of the draft, it plays a massive effect. You kind of want to be almost in second place on the last lap going on the last corner. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you get overtaken before then. So it's like any oval, really, because it's just one of them fast flowing until you get onto the intersection. Gets a little bit twisty and turny, as we can see here with Sharp. As we switch to James Ellis. So there you go in the Merc. But all in all, mate, it's a pretty bog standard oval track with a few turns in the middle.
Not recommended motorsport there from James Ellis. Yeah, can we get the producer get the track map up there, the right-hand side? It's a track, top right-hand side. It should show you just the car that you're on with this lone open qualified, actually. It should show you, I believe. It should be set up for that. So they can get indication. I think you can also hit lead position, or one of them might show just one car that you're actually on board with. In this case, around with Luigi. Then you can talk about, see that infield that you're mentioning?
Yep.
With the horseshoe.
Yeah, turn 1 round to turn 7. They've got the middle bits in the middle. So you've got the little kink from 1 to 2, and then you're going 2, 3. It's to be fair, you can probably count that as one chicane as you go around turn 1, but they've got it as 1, 2, 3. 4 is the International Rodriguez Horseshoe. Round 5 on the V, and then round 6 is where car number 4 is David Favaro. He was up there. Barry Boltus, sorry, is now, and then we leave round into the tricky 7. The problem with 7, it's getting on the power too early, and you've got to kind of make sure the car's stable and settled before you can start putting the power down. And then it's just a straight run out to the bus stop. To be fair, mate.
All right. So would you take me around this track? What sort of Uber rating would I give you?
Oh, sorry.
I said if you were to take, you're going to ride shotgun with you around this track. What sort of Uber rating would I give you? An I rating.
Uber rating. If it was out of 10, I'd probably say 5 out of 10.
It's 5. You're in an Uber. It's out of 5.
Oh, it's out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, 3.5.
Okay. 3.5.
3.5. Yeah, I'm not. I don't mind this track, but I'm probably better in an LMP2 than I am in a GT3.
It'll be interesting as well too. Yeah, to play that. And we do have a 24-hour Spa event will be coming up soon as well, I believe. And of course, Anti-Store Racing will be submitting their drivers in there for that event. I'll try to cast it as much as I can. I'm sure if you got time as well too, there, James, to come in and cast for a couple of hours if you get a chance, or if you're not racing yourself.
I will definitely try, mate. When are you looking? When is it? They've got it up?
I'll pull it up on the it's on the iRacing website, of course, for the special events.
Okay.
Yeah. Get out there in the chat, guys. I will be reading the chat, but generally it's pretty quiet at the moment, mate, because a lot of drivers are listening to us, of course. G'day, drivers. Wave your hand in the car if you can hear us.
Wave your hand.
Yeah, take your hand off the steering wheel and give us a wave.
Get into the iRacing code, take your hand off the steering, and just give us a quick wave there. As we see Max Voss coming into the bus stop, probably on the brakes about just before the one. Down, 4th gear, looking for the exit on the right hand side. There he goes, trying not to take too much of that inside curb. It is a slowdown, so they are going to have to be careful if they take too much. And then we've got a straight run here with Max Voss, car number 8, all the way around into turn 1. He's going to be hugging that inside line, and then slowly as he comes around the final corner, hug the inside again. And then should be looking at drifting out a little bit about now. And it comes in and into turn 1 we go. So that's really the first part of the track. Briggles down into 2nd gear. Oh, nope. Maybe not for Max Voss. So he may look at going again with about just over 15 minutes remaining of qualifying, mate. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Ryan Martin on title pole on a 143.37 with Andre Wolf on a 143.554. And Leonoga, last week's 2nd place, is currently in 3rd on a 143.57. I don't know if they're going to get below the 143s, judging by them times, mate, but it depends on the draft.
Oh, anybody could do it. Probably Ryan, capable of doing it, obviously, with an iRacing too, a 4K, 4.3 for Leon. He has the highest. Luigi has the highest. My apologies. 5.1K I rating. It's not too bad to have on your resume. G'day out there, says Sim Racing Propaganda. Hashtag Sim Racing Propaganda there. ZK1WY. Hey, are you a bot? You're not a bot, are you?
No, surely not. I don't know. Yes, who knows? It's possible. You have a bot, but I'm sure it's probably not.
Yeah, you can see. Give us a how you're doing or something out there. I'm just making sure I loaded all the cameras in as well too, mate. So I was looking at a different camera to our wonderful race director. He's pulled up that gap too. The fastest time to 143. Look at that, Andre Wolf, just 19 thousandths of a second, just off that, and then he got 2/10 back to Leon. But expect those times to tumble, mate, because it's still, as you said, about 15 minutes of qualifying, plenty of time.
Yeah, I think to be fair, mate, it's a tough one because you really kind of want clean air, but you kind of also want to sit and get towed along, do you know what I mean, by using the draft on this track. So the draft is kind of strong, and really I'd be looking at sort of where car number 11 is, Liam Kerr, sitting up behind somebody and just kind of hanging on if I can to get that draft, because it does help dramatically with your times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the drafts too. You're right. You know a lot more about the GT3s than I do. This is my first season helping to cast out for the GT3s here for Anti-Store Racing. I love them. They look great, especially the Mercedes have really been impressing so far this season, and that's considering, you know, that car's only been released, for just over a month now. But yeah, it's certainly a very nice pacey car. A lot of the drivers do like it. We have a big spread, of course, of all of them. BMWs are out there. We've got Audis. We have the Italians generally drive in the Italian manufacturers, BMWs, Porsche. My Nissan Skyline's out there somewhere, but you can't spot it.
Oh, is it?
No. I do have the car. I would like to have it. I would like to have the car that Ross. Yeah. Jeez, I can't remember his name there for a second. It's just really got me off. The McLaren team principal.
Dennis.
No, sorry. The current. Zach Brown.
Zach
I have Zach Brown's McLaren that he drove into Silverstone. If you guys know what that one is out there.
No, I did see a McLaren actually this morning or yesterday morning, and I only live in a little town in, Somerset. So to be seeing a McLaren coming up to the roundabout, it was quite an interesting sight. There was a lot of people sort of like staring, as you can probably imagine, being that we don't obviously get a McLaren in my little town at any point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would definitely be cool. Did you ask to take it for a spin?
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I was going one way round the roundabout. He was going the other. So I didn't really have much time to shout out the window at him.
Chase him down, mate.
Oh, mate, my Ford C-Max wouldn't get anywhere near him. I'm 0 to 60 in about 14 miles. He's 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. I'd be gone. I'd be chasing him forever there, Biggles. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's a McLaren Speedtail, actually, that it was. Top speed at 250 miles per hour. So it's not a bad car to have. Of course, Zach Brown has a lot of cars in his garage. So if you want to hit him up one time, mate, become friends with him. Show you he'll loan you one of his cars for a spin.
Man, I'll send him an invite on LinkedIn. You know what I mean? Hey, Zach, how are you, dude? Drop him a message, Give him some love. Do you reckon he'll just pop up there, Biggles, and go, hi, mate. I'll leave the keys in the letterbox for you. But cheers, Zach. Thanks, mate. You know what I mean?
Do you have an insurance policy?
I don't know if I want to cover the cost on that, mate. I've got to be honest. But you never know. You never know. Be an interesting one as well. I see Andre Wolf currently in second place on a 1:43.39. At the moment, he's putting himself in second place, not very far back. Abandons that lap, so doesn't like that one. When Ryan Martin in the Ferrari, there he is. Who is Ryan Martin's teammate? Because that, Biggles, was what I mean by Adam Hedgecock. That was drafted into the full effect there. Adam was using him to come forward, and then Ryan pulled out and let him through.
Absolutely, yeah, you can see that. And that's helping Ryan because you've got a purple Sector 3 for there. And that's the Altitude Esports teammates working together in the Ferraris. And that will definitely look like it's going to help him at the moment as Ryan finishes a lap. We're on board with right now. Will it improve for 144.5? Didn't really, but they're going to do it for a few more laps, you can see.
Be interested to see if Adam returns a favour. The problem is, obviously, as we know, like in any car, whether you're doing it in an F1, a GT3, P-Cup, anything like that, if you don't do this effectively, it could ruin your lap time, really, because they could end up tripping over each other. So, I was quite glad to see Adam pull out of the way before they come into the bus stop to allow Ryan to get that clean run in, so there was no tripping over.
So the best. So checking out the nice Altitude Esports livery on there. Nice, and I feel like I want to go skiing.
And that's good, man. I've got to be honest. And good old Adam Edgecock has already informed me. Now, Adam, I know from a previous series that he used to race in. And every time I used to speak to Adam as a team driver, he used to come in, and it was along a 12-hour endurance. And he'd pop in, and I'd say to him, Adam, how you getting on? And all he'd say to me is, I'm on target. Target for what? No, all you need to know, James, is we're on target. And that was it. And he messaged me earlier on in the Discord, actually, up in the GT3 chat. And it was like, oh, James, hello, just to let you know, I'm on target. And that was it. I didn't even say anything else, but according to Adam, he's on target for wherever he's going to finish. So we won't worry about Adam throughout the race, mate. He'll be there or thereabouts anyway.
I might have to steal that one away from him next time. And if he was asking you about stuff, you're like, yep, on target. That's just great. That's just yeah, you can get away with anything. Can you? Saying you're on target. You're like, I'm on target. Luigi's on target at the moment. For the top of the timesheets right there. There you go. So the Italians.
No, he's not. Definitely not that, Biggles. He's not on target there. But that's what I mean. You can use that for kind of anything, can't you? You can just turn around and say,
good. I'm on
how you getting on, mate? Yeah, I'm on target.
For a last place, if I need to, of course. I'm still on target.
Tell you what I was targeted for, but I'm still there. So that should be an interesting one, I think, tonight, mate. I think it's whoever can get the better start and kind of... I don't think they're going to break the toe, and I wouldn't be surprised that unless there's a big accident, I think that's the only reason the toe is going to be broken, because this track itself is so tough to break the toe. You know, they've got to get it down to at least over, like, I think it's about out nearly 1.4 seconds, and the toe starts kicking in. So to break that and give themselves that gap, they've got to go some. You know, we're talking 1.4 seconds quicker than the guy in front, Biggles, and that's not an easy feat when you've got drivers of this caliber.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And then the other thing is, too, is the car performance so far. It does look very, very good there for the Italian manufacturers, both of the Lamborghini and the Ferrari. This is the BMW. I'm sorry, the BMWs. The Mercedes don't seem to be performing as well. Top speeds that I'm seeing at the moment, Luigi got 180. 184 from Liam Kerr. That's in the Audi. I think, and David 181, so 183s for the Merc. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'd be quiet on that one. I thought maybe the Mercedes were a little bit down on the top speed, but it's not the case. They're struggling somewhere else in the track. Still early days. Leon is up 222 car in provisionally P4, but that's almost 7/10 off the pace of that fantastic lap that Luigi's done so far.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting one. I
He
think,
did break
mate.
the 42s, mate. You were saying didn't think anybody
142.
could break. Yeah.
I do wonder, really, if people like, you know, Leon or Andre or Ryan want to try and get into the 42s, I think they need to be sitting behind somebody in front of them, like Luigi, who's obviously quick. Because the last thing Leon wants to do is come out and try and sit behind, and this is no disrespect to any of the drivers, but people that are doing 144s, 145s, because it's only going to slow him down. He kind of wants to come out at that point, Ryan, Andre, Leon, behind Luigi, because they know he's going to be dragging them along because he's quicker. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to come out and sit behind somebody doing a slower time.
No. Absolutely not. And William at the moment, the 544 car that we're on board there from Texas. He's one of the only US drivers. We've got Eli out there from the United States. They don't have to get up as early in the morning to watch the free practice session for the Formula One as I had to. Well, I guess I really did. But for them, it's a nice afternoon race. As you guys in the EU or in the evening. It's just poor Liam Kerr. He's the one that's on the crazy time zone, obviously being in Australia. Ryan Sharp sets the fastest fourth sector. We'll see if it will improve him because he's currently running in P17. Our Scotsman, the other Ryan, the other Scotsman's in P2.
Well, it's definitely hot and getting a little bit tasty with about 5 minutes remaining here as we come here on board with Ryan Martin, who's just coming around turn 12 now. Let me see what he can do as he goes across the line. I'm going to presume that is Mr. Adam Hedgecock in front of him again as it comes across the line. 143.06 goes quicker but doesn't break the 142.9. Maybe them guys will go again to pull each other forward and see how they get on. I think they're Biggles.
Yeah, they should. They're going to have to. They've got about 4 minutes left. As you can see, both of the BMWs, I think, also working together as tangent teammates. And that's oversteer moment there from Max into the fence. He will have time to get back and get another couple of laps in. If, yep, some quick repairs there for the teammate. Obviously, during the qualifying session, you're fine.
Now the old team are going to have to get some duct tape out, get some hammers out and start banging away because they've only got about 4 minutes left. of qualifying, as we've seen. Nespolino are currently in first place, Ryan Martin in second, David Favaro in third, Andre Wolf fourth, Leon Erger in 5, Tom Gambino in 6, David Contos 7th, Adam Edgekelk 8th, Liam Kerr 9th, and Ivo, I'm going to presume that's Van der Linden. Van der Linden in 10th place. So that rounds out our top 10. And we've got second between 10th and 1st.
Ryan Sharp trying to get a bump draft there from the BMW. He's happy to stay behind. This is a head down one of the back straights and into the twisty section. Sorry, I don't know all the names, but we'll just call it the twisty section.
Mate, literally, you've got
the lift off there. Yeah.
You got turn 1, 2, 3. Then you got the horseshoe, which is this one they're heading down now. Then you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, you know, nothing overly complicated for us tonight, Biggles.
Something between 1 and 12.
Yeah, pick a number.
It's getting busy in the middle sector, for sure, in the middle section. A lot of cars there are going to be held up on their flying laps or not. I'm sure a lot of them will be on the radio saying, blocked me and stuff like that. Oh, like that. Exactly like that.
22. That's Tom Gambino. Sharp into the wall, and I believe there was somebody else in front of him. Didn't quite catch who that was at that specific moment, but Tom Gambino. He made
Connor Walsh, I think that was. So down until they got the memo that it is a qualifying session and not a race.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, are we going to start seeing that traffic situation occurring during the races? They go obviously deeper into it, get different paces. Of course, there's pit stops. That's going to be. Do you know about fuel loaded knees? Like, you're obviously going to have to make a pit stop.
Well, they've got to make one, never they? Mandatory 1, 2 is recommended, but I believe this season we've had a couple that have only made it on 1 pit stop with some severe fuel saving. They've got the option of fuel save with the draft. They can get pulled along a lift from, half the corners out from 7, 8 and 9. Round 12, 11, 12 maybe as well. They've got that option if they want to lift. Will we see somebody doing it in 1? I think probably. There's a really good possibility that we could see just a 1-stopper tonight.
And we should have a safety car. We have race control. Do we have a safety car? Just double confirm that. I'm not quite sure there. Wes, we do. We will have a safety car or not. We'll have a race director, of course, so we'll keep an eye on those race director notes will pop up. From race control, I'm not sure if the radio messages will come up, mate, if we got that sorted or not. We'll checking with some of the bosses of powers that be, but we are definitely down to 48 seconds left of qualifying, so whatever lap you're on, got to finish it up.
And David Ferraro is in third in the BM, Ryan Martin in second, and Luigi Nespolino still in first place. Ooh, as we see Ryan Martin saving the groundsman a job there, mate. Cutting the grass for them, but it's probably not going to help him.
A plane landing just in the airport right in the background there. They laser scan the plane coming in for a landing? Interesting. Didn't think they did that in iRacing, but there's attention to detail. There's the Shazoo driver there with Max. Currently running in P11, trying to improve on his time. He had the fastest middle sector. So will that boost him up into the top 10? 1.1 off provisional qualifying, which I'd have to say they probably locked that one in there for Luigi. I don't think anyone's going to dethrone the Italian for this qualifying session.
Right, Max moves up to 10th place. Broke the top 10 on a 143.98. Oh, David Contos not doing that. And then they've got the Audi. I believe that was Liam Kerr coming across the line as well. And then Tom Gambino, obviously we saw earlier on making room on the infield. Unfortunately, for a couple of drivers, it's not the best way to be doing that.
No, but it is qualifying. You don't get points for qualifying. You get points for a race. That's where you're going to earn your paycheck.
Yeah. I still think the stewards, may pay a little bit of close. Oh!
That's just a deliberate to get that car.
No. A little bit of a... Yeah, there you go. Causing a collision. There you go. Car number 22 has got a 5-second penalty, which is Tom Gambino. As predicted, the stewards took a look and turned around and said that wasn't good driving from Gambino. So, yeah, unfortunately for him, he's got a 5-second time penalty. Will that be taken during the race now, though? Or will it be dropping him out of quali? Because I don't suppose they could do a lot in qualifying, can they?
No, it would have to be a penalty for the race, I would imagine.
I think they're going to be basically looking at him and saying, well, son, we're going to add 5 seconds on. So we're at the end. We're just waiting for the qualifying results to come through, but you can see him now on your left-hand side. Nespolino pole, Martin in second, Bavaro in third, Wolf in fourth, Ergo in fifth, Contos sixth, Gambino seventh, Hedgecock eighth, Kerr in ninth, and Voss in 10th place. Van der Linden in 11th, Reinhardt in 12th, Janssen in 13th, Ellis 14th, Sharp 15th, Gizecki in 16th, Welsh 17th, Sazak in 18th, Boltus 19th, and Brandon rounds out the top 20. That would leave Notto on 21st, and Sebastian van der Hobble, who hasn't got a time. But then again, he did look like he joined the session quite late on. So, they're obviously off the timings now, so we will wait for the official results to come through. I'm sure producer Wes will put up on the screen as early as possible. So there we go.
Currently just waiting for that situation to come up. Welcome out there, guys. Don't bite. Well, say anything in the chat. I was going to say James does bite. I don't bite. And I think we're going to get those results eventually coming up there for our grid.
Yeah, Biggles. Take us through them.
Oh, you make me do all that? Luigi, they're getting the pole position there by 1/10 there from Ryan Martin, keeping him a little bit sharp down there, the 86 Scotsman there. There's David, and then we have Andre Leon, the other David Contrast there, Tom, Adam, Liam, and Maxwell are out at your top 10. Then you go to Ivo, William, Rick, I'm reading the first names there. James Ellis there, Ryan Sharp, Goatees, Connor, Ellie, that's 18. We can scroll to the next page. There it is. Perfect. Right on cue, director. Barry, Martin Thomas, and as you mentioned, Sebastian, not sitting at time.
Yeah, there you go. I see you got. Do you know what, though, Biggles? You kind of backed out of doing the last names, didn't you, on the grid? You know what I mean? You backed out a little bit. You were just first names only. You know what I mean? All right, guys, we're into a 5-minute warm-up now as qualifying has finished. So don't forget, if you are out there, say hi, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the bells for notifications and give the broadcast a big old thumbs up, because that's what we like to see currently here at Anti-Stall Racing as well on this Friday evening with the GT3s. Don't forget, we've got the F1s coming up, F3s and F4s, which I believe, Biggles, you're involved with casting. Maybe Biggles has gone to drink. Maybe
1 second, yeah. I just had to go to kick my dingo outside.
Oh, lovely. Well, why he's gone and done that? You know what I mean? You can listen to the sultry sounds of my voice just rambling on. But there you go. Say hi, guys, if you are out there. Let me know that you're here. And we're going to chat and say hi and discuss your Fridays. You know, as the saying goes, it's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday. What?
Yeah. Well, it's Lando Norris is in the house. All right, Lando.
Yeah, why not, mate? You know what I mean? Bust out.
They managed to fix your car after the free practice, and then you get yourself in a qualifying performance. But we will not. Sorry, spoiler alert there for the qualifying guys. But we won't talk about Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, we just will not talk about Daniel Ricciardo.
That's good, because I really literally know nothing about that. So whatever you say, it's not going to affect me in any shape or form.
What sort of motor racing enthusiast are you, my friend? Not following the Formula One.
Well, it's called work, Biggles, and life, and 4 kids. Well, 4 kids, and cooking dinner, and all this sort of thing. I don't even have time to sit down and look at me mobile, let alone anything else. I've got to be honest. You know what I mean? But see, that's why we bring you in. You know, you're the expert, Bills. I just sit here and waffle. You know what I mean?
True. I don't have any kids, so I've saved like 90% of my day.
Probably, to be honest, probably 90% of your wages. You know what I mean? So there you go.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, mate.
They're not cheap, but they'll give her a nice big smile and a hug, so for sure. Until they ask for money.
Until they get old enough, and then before you know it, you're skint, giving them more of your money. As the little men and ladies of us come round and ask for more and more and more and more and more. So there you go.
In the chat, we got your man. He said, definitely on target. P8's definitely on target.
Yeah. Mr. Hedgecock there is always on target, regardless. James Ellis, hi. Hi, James. How are you?
Jane?
Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Here at Daytona, you are in the race, though, James. So,
Yeah. I wonder if you guys, we know that some of the drivers are listening. If you are, g'day. Once again, wave your hands out the window. But you guys have to start earning to get these bots. You can get these bots that does voice to chat. You can use that bot to chat for you in the YouTube channel there for you. You want to chat to us? Of course.
Yeah, that'd be quite
Without
cool.
taking your hands off the steering wheel. Some people have done it. So if you guys ever want and you feel like you want to give us some feedback during the race or something like that without having to take the hands off the steering wheel, use those bots there and give us a chat. So
Must have producer Wes in the background playing with the timing tower. Got numbers flickering all over the place, bless him.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's a warm-up, mate. You get to warm up on your production skills as well.
Yeah, you got to figure out what all the buttons do. Just hit them all and hope for the best and see what changes. That's what I do on mine.
That's what your kids will do to your computer as well, too, mate.
Mate, that's why I keep mine well away. They're like red taped. You know what I mean? I got the doorway. That's about it. So so we got about 3 minutes. 3 seconds remaining a warm up before we go into this race at Daytona. I just type while I drive, says Mr. Adam Hedgecock. There you go. You got time while you're in the pits, Adam. So let us know.
On the main straights as well. Straightaways.
Yeah. The long corners. Let us know how you get on.
Try it in the infield.
Oh yeah. Tell us if you're one stopping only. That would be quite cool. It'd be some useful information for us, wouldn't it?
Yep.
So there is the grid on screen for us at the moment. So in first place is Luigi Nespolino. In second, Ryan Martin. Third, Davide Ferraro. In third place, in fourth is Andre Wolf. In fifth is Leon Erga. In sixth is David Contos. Seventh is Tom Gambino. Eighth is Adam Hedgecock. Ninth, Liam Kerr. Then we go out of the top 10. We've got Max Voss in 10th. Then we've got Ivor van der Linden in 11th. William Reinhardt in 12th. Rick Janssen in 13th place. James Ellis is in 14th. Ryan Sharp in 15th. Goetz Gisecki in 16th. Connor Welsh in 17th. Eli Sazak in 18th. Barry Boltus is there in 19th. Martin Brandon down in 20th place. Thomas Notto in 21st. And Sebastian van der Hobel is in 22nd, not currently on the grid. So whether or not he's going to be looking at taking the start, we will see as we go along. But it doesn't look like he has made it.
Formation lap. Could be a safety car. I believe it could be a safety car. You're right there. Formation lap. They're gridding up there. We're going to be, I believe, on a rolling start. The plane just took off and landed in the background there as well. We saw. So it's another plane coming in. We will be casting. We as in myself, Mr. Biggles, and there is James. He'll be also casting. We'll be casting from that Ferris wheel that you saw. And we're going to replay right here at the start. And what happened there? Well, this is the start of the gridding.
That's the BMW. That's Tom Gambino again, I believe. Car number 22. Was it car number 22? It looked like Gambino's car, I think, on that one.
So here we go. Safety car's going to peel in. They're going to start gridding side by side. Keep an eye out for... There's Luigi on the very left-hand yellow car on the left-hand side of the track. You got Martin right next to him. So who wants to get a good launch? Especially when they try to get ahead of that Lamborghini, that's for sure. This is the nervous part, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, mate. They want to kind of get him at the beginning. They've got to wait for that safety car to go in, and then it's all on Luigi Nespolino to see how he gets on. When is he going to go? He can back them up and back them up. It doesn't have to go yet at all. But it looks like he's made that breakaway. And here we go for round 5 at Daytona on Annie Races GT3 League. And we are underway. And it's Nespolino leading us down into turn 1 with Ryan Martin in second place. David Ferraro in third. Leon Ergo trying to go down the outside of Andre Wolf on this run up into the horseshoe. He's got the inside line for the next turn. Oh, Leon Ergo's gone round. Oh, into the barrier. There goes Leon Ergo. I was going to say it was a clean start there, Biggles, but it seems like Ergo kind of proved us wrong.
He did gain a couple positions. Max has now gained 4 positions into P6. Somebody else went off flying into the background straight through. Look at this, side by side. We're watching Tom. That's the 22 car. El Bazar, a little bit of paint. Let's push the Porsche out a little bit wide. The Porsche going to come back on the track. Yes, he will, but it will lose a position. I think, yes, he will.
Yeah, there's Liam Kerr gone through at turn 6. Gambino is definitely it's I think the terminology that we would use over in the UK, mate, is definitely putting it about a bit. You know what I mean? I think Tom needs to kind of settle down a bit there, and because obviously we've had a quali incident, a warm-up lap incident, and now a lap 1 race incident as well for Gambino. As we can see, Voss and Kerr side by side as they're heading down into turn 9 into the bus stop now. Let's see how this one materialises. Voss is on the inside on the Porsche. Kerr's big dose of net code there.
Oh, yes.
And again.
It's coming back onto the track, isn't it? After that, he had to go onto the inside line there, off the racing line. Be very careful, stop the car there, because they're still flying around the corner. Yep, well, that'll definitely be under investigation. Stuart's may very well be busy here, mate, because we're an hour race and we're already, a minute, it's almost 2 minutes into this race and a couple of incidents already. We're watching Liam Kerr, the Australian driver. Come on, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, 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 we need it. I can't believe I'm seeing fast food on some of these cars, because I swear I woke up just mouth-watering for some McDonald's today, because I haven't had any fast food in about 6 months.
Mate, you need to move here on the UK. There is a message in chat. This screaming guy needs to fix his
mic. Flex barrier there. That's James. Yeah, you're right. You are breaking up a little bit. I thought that was just a connection between myself and you. Yeah, it is breaking up, I think, on the some points, when you're getting a little louder, of course, getting excited more than anything. Yeah, have a look at that.
James Ellis.
Yeah. I thought so. I've never really seen any. He's had to lift up the whole rear end of the car too. It just was off. So that'll be a fast repair. Oh, this is what happened. Yeah. Well, so he slid it before into the. Lucky the tyre barriers are there.
The problem is, it looks like he's got the old iRacing bug where he's kind of just wedged in there, and unfortunately cannot get out. So he's going to have to pit and tow. But Max Voss is also in the pits as well. We'll have to see as Tom Gambino goes up behind David Contos on the draft as he's heading around the backside of the circuit there. We can see David in front of us. Tom is now tucked up right there. I'm just going to look at trying to put it in. Drafting going on David Contos there, so he's going to have to be careful heading down around into turn 1. Gets on, but it's Tom Gambino is definitely giving it a go tonight, mate.
Yeah, you can, and you can see that infield. That's difficult. So when you're right in the tailpipe, right tucked up in the tailpipe of the car ahead, you're trying to spot your braking points and you're through those S's at high speed. It's very, very difficult because the car ahead obviously takes a little bit of an alternative line. So are you. So concentration is key, but you can't see. As at the moment we're looking on Adam, and he at the moment is just seeing the rear end of the car. And look at this. He's got to be bold and brave to go around the outside there. And the car, I don't think he can make that stick there. No, you can't.
Yeah,
and that's going to maybe compromise.
Mate. Yeah. Definitely not going to make that stick there as he's heading around there now and drops him down into 9th.
Couldn't make that.
Yeah. Did it again there.
Last of the late breakers, I don't know. It's a bit of a late dive there, mate. So we're going to remember there's still 55 minutes of motor racing. I'd expect that sort of on the last laps, mate, if you're battling for some crucial positions. Not so early in the race. But they're racers. They're drivers. F-gap car.
Do you want to tell them to slow down there, Biggles? I wouldn't want to be getting hold of these guys and saying, look, just take it easy.
I've tried as an engineer. They never listen.
No, they never do. As you see car number 4 there, as Gasecki try and get up the inside of Ryan Sharp. Did not make that stick. He's going to have to go again, unfortunately for him, with that slow motion. There into turn 7, he's got Liam Kerr in the Audi, topped up right behind him currently at the moment. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how that one materializes. Battle with David Contos and Gambino is down to 0.2 of a second. As you can see them guys behind. Gambino's now going to be looking down into turn 1. Probably Biggles if he can pull the toe in.
Pull the toe in, exactly. Let's see if we can get the gains as well. We'll show up on maybe the track map as well to see what sort of spread that there are already. So the biggest gainer so far is William. That's the Mercedes, currently running a P7 gain 5 positions off the start of this grid. You can see it right now, as it looks like the P10 there of Goats has also just made a gain there of 6 positions. And this is the battle we're watching right now here with the German driver. Racing for Fun team. And he's in the mix of another Merc next to him. And just behind him is a run, and that will be, what is that? We're looking at Ryan Sharp and Liam Kerr. Yes. Oh, there's a spin.
It's gone off. Oh.
Oh, coming back on almost. Oh, that could have compromised a few of these other drivers coming around the corner. That's another thing. Oh, it has compromised a little bit.
Yeah, I believe that was probably Martin Brandon trying to avoid that. I don't know if there was a big old dose again on netcode. There seems to be quite a lot of netcode issues going on.
That's
in this
Liam,
race.
I think. Liam's crashed as well. And that's unfortunate because the Australian driver has that Australian internet. And let's have a look with Liam. And that might have caused them off because sometimes he netcodes. Let's have a look. Nothing Liam can do about it, but we're looking at the 68 car of Liam. That will be your white, red, and black one. That's it. I think that lost himself a little bit there, wasn't it? Not.
Yeah, I don't know if there was much contact there between him and Ryan Sharp. It would be interesting to see kind of well, I don't really know. We have to look at the right rear, I guess, to see if there was a slight bit of contact. But Kerr is dropping down the order down into 19th. Car doesn't look too bad. Maybe he might be able to go again, but at the moment, it's not a good day for Liam Kerr. He's actually in the pits now. So Liam Kerr is in the pits.
Australian driver, yep. It's David Contas right now, P6. You see the 176 car. And that's the one with the Shell livery. Actually, there's a little bit of netcode there.
Yeah, these guys.
Tom behind him.
Yeah, I think they've swapped positions. I think Contas is in the Merc and Tom is the BMW. So I believe there was a swap of positions there from Gambino and Contas. So Gambino's had the run down onto Contos not long ago, so I'm guessing it's probably on that run into the bus stop. As we see Sazak here in the BMW. Car number 9, that is Sazak, gets pushed out and overtaken by Connor Welsh in the BMW car number 35. So that's Welsh up into 11th place.
He's teaming me with the Mac Tonight car as well too. The McDonald's livery there of Ellie.
Yeah,
stop it, guys. You teased me out with the KFC and Le Mans that we had here for the special event at Any-Store Racing. Now we got some Mc Tonight happening. Is that an indication I need to get some fast food junk in me sometime soon? Anyway, we're in a motor race. 52 minutes. Yes, it is. This is called the motor race, says Mikey and Race Control.
Do we not have? Do you not have any fast food out where you are?
I'm in a small town, mate. No, it's too small for any fast food places. I have to drive about an hour into another city.
Wow.
Pizza's about the best I can get. Let's have a look at the replay. And that's unfortunate. What does he hit the Ferrari? That's Barry, just unfortunate victim there of the other driver that lost it a little bit. And he tried to keep it. I'd have to say that's, see, there it is. That's the 222 car.
Yeah, that is Leon Erger.
Leon, yeah. So I think that's just a racing incident. It's not something Leon could have done. He was trying to save the car, obviously, but the car didn't want to be saved.
Yeah, obviously, Erger is on the recovery from his earlier spin. So here is Leon now. Rick Jansen going into the bus stop here. Replay of Rick into the bus stop. He goes round too much on the gas into the wall.
That's they have a quick repair, but that's going to be a little bit more than a quick repair.
Yeah, he's going to have to get it back, mate. It's got to try and look at getting it back. I don't think it's going to manage that. As we can see, car number 9, that is Sazak and Welsh. Side by side round into turn 1. Here we go as they're running up through the S's and into the International Horseshoe. The sharp right-hander. Is he going to hold it? I think Welsh is just going to hold that one from Sazak, and they will live another day down into chasing Ryan Sharp in the Iron Brew Mercedes. So we'll go about 51 minutes remaining. What do you reckon, Biggles? Pit stops 25, 35 minutes in?
Yeah, I think. Wes, do you have any information? Oh, we have lost our leader. You're right. So what's happened to the Lamborghini? Oh, he's just, net coded out completely. Well, that's very unfortunate. That could be a internet connection. Oh, you don't want to see that from any drivers when they put so much effort into this. You know, the practice sessions before, the qualifying. You just want everybody to, if you're going to lose it, just lose it yourself, not get lost by the internet. Once again, my dingo's probably on the loose, eating people's cables, mate.
Nice, mate.
Yeah, I got to put him on the leash. So there's P2 now is going to get pretty spicy because now you got Martin has to lead that of Flavio there, of David Flavio and Andre Wolf in the top 3 there, hunting.
Yeah, as we can see, Ryan Mine there from Favaro in second place. And then Wolf is in third, just right now. We've got about a second gap between these guys, and probably less than that from here. We've got Sazak, Sharp, and Welsh going round past the start-finish down into turn one as well. We've got Welsh on the inside, car number 35. Sazak trying to chase him around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, brave man there. Absolutely stunning manoeuvre from Sazak there going down around turn one. Not an easy place. Welsh looks at sending out the inside. Yeah. God, he sent it from far, far away, but jeopardised his exit there. And Sazak on the run up into turn five now, takes it the right-hand side and currently holds the position that he got down into turn one. That's a brave move around the outside of turn one there. You know, Sazak definitely picked him up and stuck him in his pocket there, mate.
There's a brave move going on behind there, I think, of Ryan Sharp. But if you go too deep out like that, you got to compromise your exit speed. Yeah, exactly. Ellie's elbow's out for sure, mate, and that's good. You sometimes think it's if you can make it stick. He's getting the good racing line, good power down on the exits of those corners, and that's what's definitely paying off. Ryan sent a little winner on the outside. We saw that a few times, haven't we, here this evening? But it does not work. You just lose too much speed on your exit. Yeah, but still, plenty of time. Once again, 48 minutes.
48 minutes remaining, and we're back with the leaders, Ryan Martin, Favaro, and Wolf. These guys are heading round down the start-finish line. As we see them, Martin leading us off now. Edgecock is down in seventh, his teammate, so we can't rely on him for help. So Martin is going to have to do this solo. There will be an iron team, and it will be Ryan Martin. He is there in, then we go over to Favaro in second place. He's going to try and chase him down. This could be interesting, but I do wonder sometimes, because whether or not these guys are sitting back waiting for the pit stops, because there doesn't really seem to be that aggressive body language of these GT3s that you've seen from some people who are going left, they're going right, they're trying to put people off, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys manage it in the first 15 minutes and whether or not they're going to wait for pit stops or they're going to be looking at making moves. It's also
you're getting some experience there of studying your components, your opposition, your enemy, and learning where they're, you know, how they're taking their racing line, and then kind of getting an idea later on if you're going to size them up. You can make your maneuvers. And also, I always think it's harder to be the one in the front right, of course, Mr. Martin, Ryan Martin, because he's the one that has to make the call to go on the pits a little bit, and can't see the other guys going to pits. The other guys could respond to that and may elect to. There's fuel saving as well too in that slip. I think you would be. I presume you would be. Yeah, definitely would expecting some lifting and coasting, especially coming into here, and maybe even some going down into turn one. The only person who'd probably be able to tell us that would be an onboard with Favaro, if we can, as he's racing around at turn 12 to see whether or not there is any lifting and coasting. That would be ideal. Here we go. Well, I'm on a different camera. I'm going to load that one. But we'll see how it feels in these GT cars, flat out on a banking corner, of course, here in Daytona. There we go.
That's what we want.
Yep. I'm riding shotgun right now. I do wear my seatbelt. I don't have a helmet on, unfortunately. Yes, here we go. So we're on board with David, of course. So
he lifted so far back on turn one there, mate. He literally just rolled in.
Once again, and you got to be following that car up the road, and you're going to be very careful once again of not copying their specific racing line. As you see, Connor.
Yeah, that's Sazak gone around the outside again.
Sazak, Sazak's really charging up through the field, isn't he? Like his McDonald's combo special's working for him.
Well, he's up 9 places from his grid, so he's down in 18th. The American is really putting the effort in, I think. And the problem is he's obviously spent so much time trying to come through the field. He's got 3.29 seconds to try and get to the guy in front. So, you know, he's got Van der Linden in that 3.5 or whatever it is up front there. You can see the guys there, but it just takes so long to come through the field. He's going to have to really put in some quali laps to try and catch the people in front of him.
I'm sure that's what he's doing. Absolutely. As you said before about there's no iron team, but sometimes there is, but you got to dot your T's, cross your T's and dot your I's, and there is a 5-second penalty for car 222 causing a collision. You'd mentioned that one earlier. That was Leon. Now, I thought that was just a mistake from Leon, but wasn't it? Just an oversteer moment, and unfortunately, Was that the other incident?
I think it must have been that one. The only other one was him spinning on his own. So I think that would be on that one, whether or not.
It's probably a bit harsh because he just lost it, didn't he? And then unfortunately there was another car there as an internal barrier. I don't think it was. Then again, race control look at this a million times, so we trust in race control. They know what they're doing. Yeah,
we had a massive one last season, mate, in the GT3 where we could, up in the booth, we called it as great defended. Next thing you know, the guy got a 10-second penalty, I think it was, for blocking.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, you're right. They go back and look at it, don't they? I mean, they look at all the camera angles, they go over it multiple times. We just sit there and watch a replay probably one time and then continue on the rest of the race. So we don't see every little thing that goes on, especially before sometimes, you know. There might have been a little bit of wheel banging, like a couple of corners before that we didn't see, and that could have related into something else.
Yeah, 10 got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. That's Ivo van der Linden. As well, car 10 got a 5-second time penalty. So I wonder what one that was. I haven't seen Van der Linden tonight, have we? Unless I've missed something. And car number 68 has also got a 5-second time penalty. That's Liam Kerr for causing a car. But Liam, I think, is out of the race now. So that's a bit of a futile penalty, really, because I think he's out. I don't think he's still remaining in the session. I can't see him.
Yeah, it says he's out to me as well. He had a lot of repairs, I think. We spent a lot of time in the pit lane. That could be because there was one of the retirements. It could be too much damage on the car, or his dingo's eating his internet cable, something like that. That's unfortunate for our only Aussie. I'm sure Liam would be disappointed, but he's in obviously the GT. Sorry, the Formula Leagues and the Formula 1 and the Formula 3s and 3s as well. So he does a lot of anti-stall motor racing. Good to see Liam on the track when he can.
Oh, so we see Andre Wolf making moves around the outside of turn 1, trying to take second position, and ended up back where he started in P3. So no gain there. Car number 4 for an unsafe rejoin, already served as a drive-through penalty. So car number 4, that's Gesecki, has already served that penalty, so well done to him. But an unsafe rejoin. I think that was the one we saw earlier on where he just missed that BMW after his turn 1 incident. But his top 3 are already going at it. Hammer on tongs. There's literally less than a second between the 3 cars as they're heading round down into turn 7 before we head out on the run out of that long banking into 9, 10 and 11. Wolf now, Biggles, is in that position where he's going to obviously get that double draft. So, you know, he's got to be a little bit sensible, because otherwise he's really going to put himself into a situation he doesn't want to be in and could just jeopardise his race already, like being really tightly squashed against the wall there from Vivaro, who just let his car drift out off the banking and said, well, Mr. Kerr, you know, you're not, well, Mr. Wolf, you're not going through. And I think from Andre Wolf's point of view, I'd probably be sitting there thinking, well, I can fuel save now. I'm going to go a couple of laps longer, because he's not really gaining anything from keep trying to go around the outside.
No, he's not. They have been side by side too, Andre and David, for before. I think he's just lifting off comfortably. I'm not quite sure. This is also, remember as well, bringing a Tom into play. Tom's last lap was a 44 flat. These guys up the road are doing late 44s. So expect this 3-way battle to turn into a 4-way battle soon enough. We'll get closer and closer into that pit stop territory that we do believe. We're 20 minutes into that race. You called about, what, 25 or so minutes?
I think it's going to be about 25, between 25 and 30, I think. And then they're going to be basically looking at just trying to survive to the end. See Sazak there going through the bus stop, runs off wide, manages to hold it. If he could have... Oh, okay. Maybe
he's got to be careful when he comes back here. Exactly. He's got the radio. I hope he got an engine out and gets on the power there. It's got a bit clean air. And sending me back into the McDonald's car back into the drive-through. Wrong place for the drive-through entrance.
I think where he was there, Biggles, I think it might have been easier for him to just go straight on that bus stop and pick up the road later on. Because he was going to get a slowdown anyway. He might as well have managed to get a slowdown and keep it, as we see Martin Brandon from 14th coming into the pits. Brian Sharp, and Connor Walsh, 20 minutes in. So it's going to be on these top 3 now, but I don't know whether or not how much fuel saving these guys have actually done, as they've got about 40 minutes remaining. As I say, we're expecting them in Most cars should be in within about 25 to 30 minutes. I think Ryan Martin, I'd be looking at possibly being an next man in. Favaro and Wolf, depending on how their fuel strategy has gone and their fuel saving, probably a lap or so later. So it'd be interesting to see.
I mean, you mentioned that, and that's going to be interesting. And what that's going to do, too, as you can see on that track map on the top right-hand side, is it's going to start spreading them out. So you're going to start seeing some lap cars, perhaps. There's David going into the pit lane. Going to spot your braking point. You can see the nose dip diving as they're hitting. And now you got to spot your perfect hit box there, so you get your maximum, minimum time, of course, in and out that you want. As his crew's going to be jumping across the fence there, slapping some gasoline into the car. Will it be lifted up for tyres? It won't. No, so he's just going for fuel.
No, I'm quite surprised he's gone in this early.
It could be a two-stopper, mate. That's what that would be looking like, isn't it? Quick splash and dash. Ryan Sharp's had a moment. Let's have a look at this.
It's coming out of 7, out of 6.
Kept it out the fence, luckily.
It's coming out of off of round turn 7. So there you go. But Favaro is, I believe, he's out of the pits now. Mm-hmm. There we go, and comes out in 8th place. 33 seconds, pit lane time 50, pit stop time 14. So whether or not he's going to go in for his second or if he's fueled to the end and see how he gets on. But he's got a long way to go. I think he's got nearly 39 minutes, mate. I don't think he's going to make it.
No, a 14-second pit stop, like in stopping pit stop is what he would take in. So maximum, 14 seconds worth of gas. I'm not sure if it counts that. Total of 50-second pit stop. It doesn't seem like it may be enough. Some of the other drivers around him, they've been in and out. They're looking at about 20 seconds on average that they've been doing. There's an 8-second there, I think, from Leon. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Ryan's in now. Tom's in. David's in. So this is the top. Yep, this is it. There's a battle of the pit lanes now. Battle of pit crews between
Wolf
those gladiators.
Wolf didn't go in. He went round again. So I was, we wasn't shocked by that, was we, considering where he was. Hedgecock's in as well. Is Van der Linden going to come in? I believe Van der Linden is in. And obviously that leaves Favaro coming round. He's on his way round turn 12. He's going to start making up places now. Is he going to make up the place over Ryan Martin? Martin still in the pits, not moving as of yet. He's still there. He's on his way now. This is going to be tight because, no, Favaro's gone.
Straight past. Yep,
yeah,
David's
Favaro
gone past.
has gone. So, but then again, Ryan Martin's pit stop time was 4 seconds slower than Favaro's. Judging by the fact that it was on 18.72, Favaro on a 14.28. Pit lane time 6 seconds slower, so he's obviously taken on more for the rest of the race. Tazak's in, Notto's in. It's going to be Wolf, I think, mate. I think.
Yeah, Wolf's the only one on track right now that hasn't come in. So that's indicating to me, if he goes a little bit deeper, definitely going for a two-stopper. We'll keep an eye on his times, as we'll keep an eye on everybody else's times once they come back out. They'll have obviously a little bit of a heavier fuel load than what Andre will be probably running on vapors. So keep an eye if he could put some great banking laps on. His last lap was at 43.5. That's competitive-ish compared to everybody else, for sure. And he's got to be sitting there calculating with his team, okay, if I'm going to come in and out, where I'm going to come out. He wants to come out ahead, of course, of everybody else, but he's in right now. Here it is. So David will become the leader of this race, I imagine.
Yeah, Favaro's just coming through the bus stop. Wolf's not even stopped yet, and he's only got about a 20-second run, so I think this could be Favaro taking the lead. Whether or not Martin can get through as well in third, going to be an interesting one to see as we see Favaro coming around. The guy still is in the pits. Wolf is still in the pits, not making his move as of yet. He's probably, if he's going to be looking at coming out, should be coming out now.
No,
still
going.
Still going.
Long fuel. That's probably a two-stopper. Here we go. So he will probably lose it out to Ryan. It's going to be close. He's exiting. Where's Ryan? There's Ryan there. I think he got just ahead there. Ryan, will he get a good power down on the exit? I'm not sure where the exit comes out. It should come out.
It's coming out very short. It's going to be coming out side by side. Oh, we've got Martin on the left, Wolf on the right, and it's Martin's position to take. So Ryan Martin comes out in front for Altitude Esports. They're in second place. Andre Wolf in third, 0.3 seconds back. So they're obviously, by judging by that there, because they're obviously on a similar pit strategy. You know, their pit stop times are about a second apart. Vavaro's is about 4 seconds. So we're expecting
Ryan's pit stop the lap before was, we're looking at about 18.2 standing stop, 19. It was, so you're right, overall pit stops was 56.2, 56.8, yeah. Andre looked like it took a second longer in the actual box time. It could be this difference right now that you're seeing, but I wonder how you feel, mate, as drivers, and you come out there and you thought you might have just got that other driver, but you come side by side and you realize I'm going to be stuck behind him. But would that also help you with fuel saving too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think, to be fair, you know, Wolf is nearly a 3K driver. I don't think that kind of sort of thing is going to freak him out, because especially if he knows Daytona in general, he'll know that obviously he's got the drive to pull him forward. As long as he stays within this half-second window, as we can see here, Rick Janssen and Barry Boltus side by side as these guys heading down into turn one now. Boltus in the Ferrari, Janssen goes wide in a BMW. He's looking for the cutback round the outside. Is Boltus going to leave him room as he goes through the first part of two into the next exit of three on that run down into the horseshoe, and that is Janssen's place done and dusted, and that's for 16th place. So him and Barry Boltus fighting all the way down through the field. William Reinhardt is another one who's got about 0.5 seconds there over Leon Erger. He's got Erger climbing all the way back up through the field after his earlier spin as well. Gaps down to 0.2. Can he hold off Erger as he goes around the international horseshoe and then round out to turn 5 and 6? And this is Sazak and also Sharp side by side. These guys seem to be magnetized to each other, Biggles. You
see that, don't you, during a lot of race weekend events? And you get a couple of the gladiators out there just Siamese twinning driving. Can't be separated too much. They got the old Gorilla Glue. Good battles that you're seeing between a bunch of these drivers.
Yeah, there's a couple of battles going on, isn't there? They got Walsh and Wolf and Martin having a battle, Reinhardt and Erger, and then we've got Sazak and Sharp. So
and Luigi's back there. So there was our race leader. So we're not quite sure what happened with him. He's on track, but just disappeared, wasn't he? So netcode. He's Leon. I do like that the racing stripe that Leon has, is that little bit of blue on the 222 car. You'll see it, that purple. It's really deep purple. Has a nice shine on the side of it. Looks great, and it's obviously giving him a little bit more power pace. We'll see.
Yeah, Reinhardt did not put out much of a defence there. He could have defended Erger a lot different to what he did there as these guys were heading up into the bus stop. He kind of just thought, well, let him through and have done with it, because I tell you what though, Reinhardt could have defensively stouted Erger. But Erger, as you say, is visually quicker. He was up early at the beginning of the field. You know, got second place last week. The guy's obviously clearly no slouch. I think from Reinhardt's point of view, I'd probably spend most of the time following him now and allow him to pull him forward into Gambino, who was literally 3 seconds up the road, top of your picture. But it looked like Gambino and Contos. So Gambino come out before Contos in the pits. But Gambino did take a 3-second stop more, so for more fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how Contos and Gambino carry on through as we got about, well, nearly coming to about 30 minutes, Biggles, remaining.
Yep, 30 minutes right on the money almost right now, as you're seeing. Andre Wolf hunting down Mr. Martin. That's Ryan Martin. Scotsman just up the road there. As you said, they're going to probably be at it for a little bit. Is this allowing David, the Italian driver, to pull away a little bit? Just checking those times. Not really. They're going to be semi-competitive. They're at 44.4 there for David last lap. We're at 44 flat here for Ryan, who's breaking all the air for Andre. And then further back,
yeah, Wolf doing a 1:43.56. So I think, to be fair, this isn't really hindering Wolf because he's got Martin pulling him along. Bavaro hasn't got anyone. You know, he's got a couple of back markers in Boltus and Nespolino. Conveniently come out behind Nespolino, actually. Are they on the same team, Nespolino and Favaro?
That's a good question.
Are they on the same team, Mr. Producer? Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, Leo Racing Team. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. From Vivaro's point of view, if he can hang on to the back of Nespolino in the back marker in front of him, I'd kind of hang on to him, wouldn't you? Because Nespolino was obviously in first place. So let Nespolino pull you along a bit, as we can see Erga back into the pits there as well with
Second
Wolf.
pit stop. Yeah.
But then
It
again,
seems too early.
No, he went in early, didn't he? He had the crash at the beginning.
Yes, so this will definitely be a fuel requirement.
The thing is whether or not now, to be fair, in that Merc, he should be able to get to the end, just under 30 minutes. He should be able to, if he can fuel. Are they on 100% fuel? Or are they still at 70 after the? Oh, maybe not then.
45% fuel.
Well, that's their maximum full up.
Okay.
Oh. Well, maybe
So
not
that's
then,
always
maybe.
tricky. You guys could do. You don't want to make it 50, of course. You make it 45, so they have to do lifting and coasting at some point. It has been spicy, mate. So I know that you're always casting with us. And thank you very much for having the time there, James, to come and cast back in anti-store racing with us. But we have seen towards the end of the previous rounds, we're on race 5, that a lot of drivers that miscalculate their fuel loads towards the end there, and all of a sudden they become a lot slower than what they would like to be. And so that's obviously their micromanagement of your fuel that you need to be doing, as you know, in GTs. Especially with a 45% max tank, that makes you're like one stop. It's reasonable, but difficult too.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, that the lifted and coasting required, if you're where Wolf is doable. But Favaro's got to try and get away. He's 4 seconds slower on his pit lane time, on his pit stop time. He's got to get away from these guys, and he's going to have to go full hammer on tongs to try and keep this gap up. At the moment, he's coming into back markers now, Rick Jansen. So unless he can clear Jansen on the straight between 7 and 9 going into the bus stop, he's going to be stuck behind him. And so he's got to be looking at trying to clear traffic as quickly and as physically as possible. So be interesting to see what he does there, as we see the two Mercs, Gasecki and Sharp, side by side headed down into turn 1. Gasecki there, car number 4, takes the position from Ryan Sharp, and then we've got Leon Erger in the background. Freeway Merc battle, Biggles. Who's your money on to come out on top?
I'm Mercedes.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good
Hey, it's
job,
an easy
buddy.
answer to the question on that one, isn't it?
Whoever it is, I'm sure, as Mr. Hitchcock
Put it
says,
this
they're
way,
on
mate.
target.
Somebody's definitely on target. There you go. You read the other words right out of my mouth. That's another way to get away with it. But it's great. It's keeping us entertained, of course. Still have Wolf, but I don't think Wolf's going to do anything about Martin. As you said, he might be looking for a long-term strategy of the fuel. But these gladiators at the moment, and haven't we seen them go for it tooth and nail? And there's I love the Australian livery, of course, there for our German driver.
Yeah, Gasecki there, rocking out the...
Green and gold, mate. Green and gold.
Yeah, we can call it Australian, or we can call it a Brazil livery, to be fair, mate. Same
No, it's a
flag.
bit of blue for Brazil.
It has got blue on it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Here we go.
And
So
I'm the
around
one
the
wearing
outside?
glasses. You wear glasses?
I do have to wear glasses now. Yep. I'm too much time in front of the computer. I never used to. Let's have a look. 222 car. Yeah, making an overtake.
it's- Erger made the move past Sharp now. That's Gasecki in his sights as he comes around the bus stop. Heading around now out of 11 through 12. Can Erger make it 2 cars in 2 straights, and he's heading high on the banking now. To be fair to Sharp, though, I would have followed him up. I would have followed him up and let him pull him through, but he's dropped back in now on that run down. He's picked up the speed. Is he going to try and take the position into turn 1? Erger's going to head round. If he is, he's going to do it the hard way. Gasecki hugged that inside line, not letting him through.
He's going for it.
He's going for it round the outside.
He's
The
going to
problem
get...
is-
Yeah.
Ooh.
Make it stick. He did make it stick. That was good. Last
Yeah.
late breakers.
Erger there now up into 11th place with Sazak in
Traffic.
front. Yeah, that's Nespolino in front of him though.
Oh, yeah.
So it isn't, it's not a slow driver, but obviously Nespolino's in his own fight in the back marker situation. So,
Well, I had
you
a
know-
question for you as well as our producer. Do you, and here's Luigi there trying to claw his way back up against the McDonald's special. And do you get any kind of like suction into the wall? I mean, I guess they're not doing the speeds you do in Indy, but you know how the Indy cars get sucked into the wall when you're close up and high in the on the fence on those banking.
The
Or
draft,
that
you
doesn't
mean?
happen. Yeah, it kind of pulls you into the wall, but if you're really close. I guess they don't because they're not an open wheel or IndyCar.
No, I think side draft is a thing here,
Side
but
draft,
I don't think it pays a massive point at this. I think most of them, once they get out of that draft behind them, I think side draft plays an effect, but probably not a massive. And to be fair, you've either got the wall or you've got the car. So no, I wouldn't like to put money on the fact that the side draft plays a massive influence.
Fair enough. Yeah, you guys are the drivers, so I just sit up in the air-conditioned commentary box and... Well, actually, sorry, in the Ferris wheel, of course. That's where we're sitting, watching the race. It's just a pity, isn't it, when the Ferris wheel goes down to the bottom there, we can't really see the action too much until it comes back up to the top. But welcome along to Daytona, guys. We are now 23 minutes remaining into this race. We've had a pit stop run from everybody. Leon's been in twice, Rick's been in twice, and Barry because of early incidents. And we're seeing Goats in right now for racing for fun in the pit lane from P13.
Yeah, that's his second one as well. So the only good thing about Gesicki going in, it should release Brandon to get through. Brandon's gone through now. He's up into 13th. So that's Gesicki's second stop, I believe. So he should be able to go to the end now. As we can see, Nespolino here with Sazak and Erga. Erga's looking at this. The thing is that Erga is on that recovery, Biggles, after his incident. And at the moment, he's picking off drivers left, right, and centre. He's picking them off like a monkey baby off his mother. I'll tell you that much, mate. He's going for it, isn't he? And I think Erga's not going to be happy until he's probably back in top 8, top 7 even. I would have thought if he keeps going like this.
Yeah, and this is his home track. He's got home court advantage. He wants to prove that to all his fans out in the grandstands. And it's good to see, get a lot of screen time. I think there's a bit of a wiggle on the wheel there. He might be listening to us.
We're talking about Erga or Sazak here, because I'm a bit confused.
Erga. Ellie, sorry. Sazak, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sazak's home track, but I'm talking about Erga.
Oh, yeah, so I had to mute for a second, mate, because it was somebody trying to sell seafood or something on the street with a PA, and it was very hard to hear.
Okay, yeah, so how close are you when you have people selling on the street? All I hear is
the cars drive down there with a PA and they're screaming out, you want to buy this, you want to buy that. Luigi's in, so it's very loud.
No, we don't have that over here. Do you have that over there? Like, is that like a street sellers market or something? Is it?
No, they do it here in this town. No, they're in a car. They're on a PA system and they're just announcing, drive around. Yeah, they're announcing that they're selling seafood or fresh vegetables or whatever.
Do you not get that?
Latin American thing. It's a Latin American thing. Yeah. You guys have the ice cream vans, I guess. You might hear them.
Yeah, they don't shout out the window. Mate,
Latin America, Latin America is a very noisy. These people like to make a lot of noise. Put it that way.
I mean, the only thing we had, was to see Favaro. He come in quick.
He did. That's interesting.
Favaro's entrance into the pit there, whether or not he stopped that car in time, that would be an interesting one to try and get back. But that's released Martin and Wolf into first, second, and Contos has gone up into third, expecting Gambino to make that move as well. Favaro's first stop, 4 seconds slower than anybody else. Gambino's was 4 seconds longer than anybody else. To whether or not Tom Gambino can keep it going until the end, or whether or not he has got to stop again. But at the moment, as we see, Favaro has got to stop and is down in currently 7th place. Going back to your street sellers, I think the only thing we ever had here when I was a kid was what they called a rag and bone man, who used to go around on a truck and pick up metal. So if anybody had any scrap metal, like
we have them too.
Yeah.
We have them too. Yeah, they also come around there announcing that, which is good because they get rid of all your trash that you don't want.
Oh, no. See, I don't have them knocking on my door anymore now either. We just used to, now I just have to take me weekend tip runs on myself, chuck it all in the car and run it up to the dump light. But they used to come around and ring a bell and go, "Mel, anyone for your bell?"
Yeah, that's what they do here. They just do it in Spanish, and they will pay you sometimes for some of it, but most of it I just leave it out the front there. They'll stop and pick it up.
Oh, right.
But yeah, but it's great. If I want some fresh shrimp or something like that, these guys will stop. I can get some and pick it out of the back there. They'll have it in the cooler, and or fresh vegetables. So
I don't know if I would feel confident with it. Yeah, no, we don't. We literally run down Tesco's and grab it out of the trolley.
It wouldn't work, but everybody in the neighborhood would complain about the noise, trust me. Yeah.
Mate,
I can't do it here because everybody's just used to the culture, so they're going to be like, you foreigner, if you don't like it, go away or something.
Mate, it would be so dramatic over here. There'd be health and safety violations.
Yeah,
the guy would have to wave a certificate out of his window to say that he's clean, and it would just be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, you got taxes and everything. I don't have to worry about that stuff. But then again, it's going to cost me like $5 for a couple of pounds of shrimp or something. It's going to cost you. You wouldn't get that cheap as Adam goes in the pit lane.
Yeah, Mr. Hedgecock is in. I'm sure he's on target, whatever that may be.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, whatever his target is, I'm sure he's there. I'd be interested to see if Avaro there, whether or not he got iRacing stop and go or whatever there, because that pit lane entry looked insanely quick. But he has gone up into 6th place at the moment. Doesn't look like he's making any grounds to slow down and go in for a drive-through or stop and go. So maybe Favaro might have got away with it, and it just looked worse than it was on the broadcast there, because he did look like he was coming in with a rate of knots.
It did, absolutely. His pit stop overall time was 54, so 18 seconds, enough fuel probably to take it to the end. He's got a clear track, and you see the track map now. That's the 6th car, 6th place, Valero. And yeah, he's got a bit of a gap there to 5, so he can just get his head down and get on with it. As we're watching Leon getting his head down right now, trying to get past.
Yeah. He's been pulling in times on Walsh for a couple of laps now, and he's got it down to 0.17 seconds at the moment. And he's looking racy, of course, on his drive back through the field after his spin on, I believe it was lap 1 or 2, going into just after the turn 1, put it round there. Too much power in the Merc. Merc didn't like it, and the Merc turned around and went no, and he put it into the barrier. So Ergo is looking racy as he comes up behind Connor Walsh on that run round to the bus stop for turn 9, 10 and 11. So it's going to be interesting to see. You can see the times on the bottom of your screen. Ergo's pulling out. Look at the times there, Biggles. Look, he's so much quicker. He's side by side as he goes down into 9. Is Welsh going to battle him or not? No. Sensibly backs off and allows Ergo to go through. So that's Ergo up into 8th. He's only 3 down on his grid position now, Biggles, where he was kind of like 21 or whatever it was at one point, because he was at the back of the field.
Yeah, put his power down, mate, to getting on with it. That's what you like to see. He set the fastest lap, I believe, a couple of laps earlier, so absolutely on the power. I think it might have been very much wise there for Connor just to back off there and maybe get a draft from. Connor's up boxing, so there we go. That's probably the reason why Connor didn't put too much of a fight up. Take his 2nd pit stop for the evening. Not quite sure, are we, James, if somebody's going to be bold and brave to take just a 1 stop. You said there, didn't you, Wes, that 1 stops are possible here? Yeah.
I think, to be fair, the only one I would really count on if they were looking at doing a 1 stop would be Gambino. And that's purely because his pit stop time was 4 seconds longer than anybody else's. You know, the other ones with longer times are Thomas Notto, but he's down in 14th. He's done over a 21-second Kiseki as well. I don't know, obviously, if... saying that, Gambino was involved in the incident on the warm-up lap and the incident in the race with Voss. I believe it might have been Voss that he may have gently love-tapped. So whether or not he got that done, or he just completely filled it up with fuel. So it's going to be interesting. We've got to coming into
He's
15
in.
minutes. Oh, well, there you go. Gambino's not going to make it then. So I don't think
you can see the
gonna
front. It's a bit scruffy on the front fender. That
well, it has joined a couple of cars.
No major damage that we can see. We want to be quick in and out here. This is crucial if there's going to be your last pit stop, which it looks like it definitely will be.
Well, he's got Favaro coming around now, and also Ivo van der Linden. Unfortunately for Edgar, Favaro has gone through. Van der Linden's it's been pulled along by Favaro, so that should technically put him up in front of him. But yeah, job done. Gambino's now down into 7th. Van der Linden did the right thing. He didn't go trying to chase down Favaro and overtake him. He kind of just followed him and let Favaro pull him along. And clearly it's paid off because he's jumped Gambino. So, yeah, well done for Van der Linden there. That's him up into 6th place. Kevin Stam is in YouTube with Daytona.
Let's go again. Exactly.
That's all
We're
he's
going to keep going.
Yeah, that's all he's put.
Used to be an old arcade game.
Yeah, it did. It was oh, it was on an oval as well, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was at Charlotte, I believe. Was it Charlotte? They had on there as well, and then they had Daytona, and then they had who was the driver?
Oh, I can't remember. I think some of these young guys out there might not even be aware of this, mate. Yeah, exactly.
Are you joking?
That's a 90s arcade machine, mate.
Yeah.
I think that was. Half these guys weren't born until after the 90s,
Yeah.
some of them.
Dude, it was a classic. You used to drive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you see?
Mate, you
But then again, I remember playing pinball machines from the 70s, mate, and 60s and stuff like that. So, yeah, mate. But that's back in the day before computers were powerful, so...
You know what, mate? I'm going to have to sit and Google that now because I can't remember who that driver was based on.
I can't
But he was in a film as well. It was in a film.
Contas is in, Williams in, and...
yeah, you talk about the race a minute. I'm going to Google this.
Usually if we have a active chat out there, guys, so usually they come back with all that information pretty quickly. But, yeah, most of the drivers are in watching or listening to us at the moment, so they can't really be typing. David Contas is into the pit lane. Exiting the pit lane right now, sorry. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind throwing up the gap to the leaders, the actual gap to the leaders on the right-hand side as well. So we've got the intervals, of course, between the drivers there. Thank you very much, Ron and Q. That'll give you an indication of what happens if Martin comes in, if Wolf comes in, which we believe they will have to. David has already been through his second pit stop, so he could very much go to the end, and he's, 32 seconds and change, so that will definitely, I'd say, promote the Italian driver into the provisionally lead of the race soon, or provisionally isn't lead of this race right now. What about Contas, but David Contas, that's the thing. Martin's in.
Martin's in, so it's going to be, this will be the one now. Where is Favaro? Favaro's coming through the bus stop. Currently, at the moment, I'll tell you that information about that Daytona game after this, once we see whether or not Favaro does get through. Personally, I think he probably should.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
It's where about Contas will be the key, isn't it? Whether he can clear David Contas.
Whether or not David Contas can clear him as well. But then again, I don't think Wolf has got, Martin's got to be in for exceptionally long. To be fair, he's on his way now. They've swapped pit lane times because Favaro's was 18 and Martin's was 14 this time. And it was...
There he is, coming out now.
Yeah, there is Martin there. Oh, he can get on the power now, to be fair.
Yep.
But I think Favaro's already... Favaro's cleared him.
And Contas didn't... He did clear Contas, David Contas, so...
Yeah, 2 seconds he's got to make up now. But their pit lane time, their pit stop times was the opposite. First time round, Martin did 18, Favaro did 14. This time, Martin did 14, Favaro did 18. And Martin pulled out 3 seconds on their pit lane time. So, you know, he must have pulled some of the gap down on that pit stop as we enter into the last 12 minutes. And just going back to the Daytona game, Daytona International Speedway, it was released in 1993, developed by Sega AM2 in 1993 and released by Sega in 1994. Players raced stock cars on one of 3 courses. That was it.
Yeah, it was one of the first arcade games out there, guys, where they usually have about 3 or 4 of side by side. So
side by side, yeah.
One of those where you get to race people, as we're seeing Andre now, our provisional race leader. This is the thing. I don't think he's definitely not going to clear David. Whether he can clear Ryan is going to be the key.
There's not a massive gap, mate. Martin to Favaro's come down to 1.8 seconds. Those guys are heading around turn 12 now, so it's going to be interesting to see here. Martin's got to be looking about 14. Wolf's got to be looking at about 14 seconds, which would be the same. He only done 10 seconds.
Is he exiting the pit lane now?
He's exiting now.
Could be close. Have a look just in the background. You might see the 2 car. There he is. Remember, David's got flat out speed here, but exiting the pit lane. I think Wolfie's got this. Yeah. Wolfie has this.
Yeah, Wolfie jumped him, but his pit stop time was 4 seconds quicker than Ryan Martin's and 8 seconds quicker than Favaro's. So Wolf had saved that much fuel that he didn't, and ergo they're making a move past. It's now William Reinhardt Chapter. Ergo's on a flyer as well. He's up into 6th, which is what I said he'd probably be looking at aiming for after his earlier incident with 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah,
So
Leon,
Wolf is through.
Leon Ergo, the 222 car, he'd been putting in some banker laps. I saw a couple of purples pull up for him to be the fastest lap, but he's just pedaled to the metal. Ryan Sharp went off track briefly. Ryan's running all the way down there in P13.
That's to show where he would have been, mate, if he hadn't had that incident.
True. But he's blocked that out of his mind, and he's just going to try to, damage limitation, of course. That's a sign of a good driver, because, this is a race season. I believe we're not even halfway through it at the moment.
Yeah, and he wants to try and move up as far as he can, and he's in 6th place. I'd like to point out, Kevin Stam in YouTube, 93. Geez, usually I feel old with folks around here, but even then I was 2 years of age. In 93.
Yeah. But again, the machine was probably stuck around for another 10 years or so in arcades. And once again, back in the day when your computer at home, if you did have a computer at home back then, I did Amiga and stuff like that. It wasn't as powerful as the arcades. The arcades had all the fancy graphics. Now your cell phone has 10,000 times more graphics than those did. But the enjoyment of hanging out and going to an arcade and all that, that's something that you guys probably wouldn't experience. But
no, the worst thing is as well, looking at that, I was 15 in 93. How old were you in 93?
You would have been playing that around that.
Yeah,
I was pretty
I was sat in the arcade, mate. I was after school going down the arcade with my 50p's or whatever
I still love the pinball machines. I actually have a pinball machine in Australia, the Indiana Jones pinball machine, because pinball machines, the good thing about them is that they're mechanical, they're light, they look good, and you can play in pinball every single time, and it's not the same. You get, if you have an arcade game, you can master it and do it over and over again. But pinball, you have good games, bad games, and they're collector's items too.
Yeah, I never was really a fan. I was more of a driver, or at the time, I believe it was Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat was in the arcades.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Simpsons was a popular one as well for 4 players.
And then they had that FIFA 94 or whatever it was that looked like 2 little matchstick men running around. The graphics weren't great on FIFA in the arcade at that point, or football game. But then again, there was also the tennis one as well. I don't know if you played tennis in the arcade. That was quite amusing.
I don't remember that, no.
Oh, mate, now I'm dead. How old are you?
I don't disclose that information.
Oh, okay. So, look at him. All right, how old was you in 1993?
I don't disclose that information.
No, I tell you what, you sit on the fence anymore, mate. You're going to be pulling out splinters later. I'll tell you that much. Oh,
Kevin
what was Ryan Sharp?
Yeah, I think this was an off-track here from Ryan. He's by himself.
Wide,
there it is.
Yeah.
You're turning that expensive car into a lawnmower, mate. But then again, you do have to mow the lawns around here. Mow the lawns.
Martin Brandon getting out of the way there for these guys as well, allowing Favaro and Martin to continue their fight. The problem is they're losing time to Wolf in front. Last time around, they lost about 5 thousandths of a second, which doesn't so much. Yep, Leon's in as well. He's going to be pushing out.
Ryan Martin's pushing, mate. He just set the fastest lap, but he's behind David. I think this is the time he's really starting to get it on with it. 6 minutes remaining, so he will be getting on with it right now. He's not going to be like, I'm not going to hang in anymore. And I think right now, Ryan Martin, you can see, is sizing up Mr. David Flavio to try to do something about it, because he knows 5 minutes to go. He wants that second place. He's obviously got the pace. And maybe he's thinking about trying to do something about Wolf up the road. But if he wants to do that, he's got to do it now.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see if he can. But he's got to try and pass Favaro as soon as possible. If they're doing matching time for time, Martin's just on a 1:42.95, so he's got to be trying to get past Favaro as quickly as he possibly can to allow him to get on the road. And the problem is Wolf's not hanging about. Wolf's doing a 1:43.64. Martin's going to have to do that 1:42 constantly, but it's whether or not he can do that without Favaro in front of him, pulling him along.
Yeah, and then it looked like he was going to almost go side by side, went up close to the fence on the outside, but had to lift off through here. Now look at this, he's going to gain the slip speed as he's focusing right now. We're on board with Ryan. You can see around the banking, and they're going to get ready for the inner field here. So can he try to do something about it? He's in the slipstream, but now he's losing pace a little bit. Where's he going to go? Where is the defensive that Flavio's going to park the car? Right in the middle of the racing line.
Yeah, there's no need for him to go anywhere else, to be honest. There, Biggles. As Martin comes around turn 1, I don't think he's going to make the stick. I don't think it's going to get him this time around. He might get him on that run out of 7. on that up into the bus stop in 9, 10 and 11, but it's going to be interesting to see whether or not there he can make this difference. He's got to try and stay as close as he can. That's the thing he's got to do. He's got to keep that 3 tenths gap down, get it down as low as possible, otherwise Martin's going to have no chance of trying to pass this at all. But he's got to be looking as he goes in slightly deep there. Oh, as we see Kaseki
going slightly deep. There is Kaseki.
Yeah, what has he been up to in his Brazilian coloured car or his Australian coloured car, depending on which commentator. Yeah. Which commentator you're talking to? All on his own.
It must be too heavy on the brake going on that one. The rear went around rather than the exit.
Yeah, but here we go on this run now. Round turn 2. We're Martin in the Ferrari. Navarro in the BMW. He's not going to make it. He's not going. He's not aggressive enough, Biggles. He's not making that move. He's going to try and get a better exit out. And on that run down into turn 1. Again, he loses a bit of time. Navarro, though, the problem with the BMW, Biggles, is it eats curbs for breakfast. You know what I mean? If there's a curb there, the BMW would just go over it. It won't really worry too much about that.
It's a German manufacturer versus an Italian manufacturer. So that's the thing. Yeah, the German manufacturer likes eating curbs. It's up to Ryan to try to do something about this right now. You can see this is probably one of the last opportunities he's going to have. 3 minutes left in this race. We know it's a 1 minute 43 and change there for a lap time. So 2 at best, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Wolf is probably happy about this. Andre Wolf up the road there, gaining 3 positions, sitting comfortably in the lead of this race. He doesn't have to worry about making a mistake, but just to lift off a little bit because he knows he has a bit of a buffer, because this is where that battle is. And who wants the P2? It's right there. Just reach out and grab it. We know that Flavio has to defend for it. Ryan has to try his heart out to get past here.
Yeah, it's like Kevin Stam said in chat, the Beamer chomps curbs and has the top speed to match. Because it does, and that's the problem for the BMW is just unbelievable over the curbs, and whereas the others don't seem to have that stability. The new Merc is pretty good over curbs. However, I have managed to bounce it and spin it nose deep, so that was the interesting one. But that was partly my own fault. I did hit a nice big sausage curb, which sprung me up into the air rapidly. But I think that's the thing. If Martin's going to have to do it, he's got to be looking now, staying as close as he can, getting the exit out of 11 and trying to really sort of get on the gas as soon as he can, get that car slowed down. I can see him now. He's closer now than he was on the last time. The gap was out about 4.9. It's now down to 4. It's coming down to 3. 3.5, 3.4, 3.2. Here we go. Whether or not Martin's going to make this. 2.8, 2.7. It's coming down. Look at the speed.
Yeah, once he breaks the slipstream, that's where he's going to lift off. Oh, he's got the exit speed. This is it. He's got to commit to it right now.
He's got to.
He's had to brake a little bit earlier. They're going to go side by side through. This is interesting. Good to see Flavio putting absolutely fantastic defense up. He doesn't want to yield that P2. He's earned it. He's worked for it. Ryan wants it. That's where Ryan started, and he wants it back.
Yeah, there's not a hope in well. Favara's going to pull over and say, there you go, son, carry on. You know what I mean? There's going to be no chance. Favaro is going to leave. If he's going to leave that door open, he'll leave it open, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Because he's just not. He's going to be looking at trying to come back again like he did then, because no racer driver is going to leave it open and not want to try and send it in back on him. And he did it there. And the problem is he's taking the lead now. Where we're not on the last lap as of yet, are we? I don't think it's going to be this one and one more maybe. No, we must be on the last lap.
Well, 32 seconds to remain before the
he's round.
Flag.
Wolf's round at not even round turn 3, turn at 8. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't. Martin's there trying to take the inside from Favaro.
He had to lift off
offline there, but Favara's offline. This is Martin's run now. He's got to get down to 1.7. We've seen it go out at 3 tenths. This is going to be it. This is going to be it. They're not going to make this. This is going to be the checkered flag. Whether or not Martin's going to be able to make it round now, he's got about literally less than a quarter of the run down into turn 1. Favara's going to hug that inside line, trying to shorten that corner as much as he can. Martin's got to be looking to try to. Martin gets it. Martin takes second place. Favaro in third. Wolf in is your winner. Contos fourth. Gambino fifth. Yeah, that's the problem for Favaro, mate. There was nothing he could have done about that. Do you know what I mean? Unless they were going to take each other both off.
But it was good. We obviously absolutely fantastic racing is what you wanted to see. And if you're gonna lose that place, you lose it by just the smallest of fraction.
Yeah, we're going to see
still on a podium.
Yeah. Sazak and Van der Linden, they've just swapped positions as well. If Van der Linden's got any sense, he would just tuck in behind Sazak as they come into the bus stop. He's got one more straight. We're going to see the same scenario again of what we've just witnessed with Martin and also Favaro up front. Van der Linden's going to close the gap. The time's coming down, 0.1614. You can see it on the left-hand side. It's dropping faster than an elevator at Trump Towers, I'll tell you that much. Van der Linden's look at that. Sazak gave up the inside line. No, I would not have given up the inside line. This is Van der Linden's all day. Van der Linden's before it was Christmas, birthdays and Easter all in one then. As soon as Sazak opened up that inside line there, Biggles, that was it. Van der Linden was through. There was no reason why you would open up that line, actually, to be fair. But Kaseki's going to come across the line in 12th. He's heading up into the bus stop. So,
as Kevin said, the defense of the bus stop compromised him. Amazing. But yeah, exactly. He probably wants to look back at that replay then go, yeah, my bad. I realized I did that. But he had an absolutely fantastic battle back through, of course, after the fairly, at the start of the race, incidents. Still, you have to be happy with that one. It's a very unfortunate day, wasn't it, there from Luigi, the man that started on pole. He's finished in P15 after the sort of issues, some technical issue or something happened, and it would have been fantastic to see him battling it out, obviously, with Andre, Ryan, and David, fellow countryman as well. Hopefully, when he gets some interviews, of course, from these gladiators to hear about how their racing was. Let them have a bit of a cool down, mate. First, right? Have a bit of a stretch and a Banos break if needed. Some heavy, intense racing, of course, wasn't that, mate? Absolutely. Yeah, a good qualifying session. Is having a pit lane squabble right now.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting, to be fair. I think the dangers for Vivaro was being in that second place. He needed to swap that position back. So we're going to wait for the results to come up there. Andre Wolf is in first place over Ryan Martin in second. David Favaro in third, David Contos in fourth, Tom Gabino in fifth, William Reinhardt in sixth, Adam Hedgecock on target. Well, he went up one. He went from 8th to 7th, so he's definitely ahead of target there. Leon Erger had that spin earlier on, unfortunately dropped it down the field, battled his way back up into 8th place. Ivo van der Linden in 9th, Eli Sazak in 10th, Connor Welsh in 11th, Goetz Gisecki in 12th, Ryan Sharp in 13th, Martin Brandon there in 14th place. He was up 6 places from his 20th on his grid start, so well done for him. Luigi Nespolino unfortunately got DC'd through the session, come back in and was unfortunately down on lap in 15th. Barry Boltus there with Rick Jansen in 16th, 17th, Thomas Notto in 18th. Liam Kerr unfortunately out of the race and they're 30 laps down. James Ellis, Max Voss, and I don't believe Sebastian Vanden actually joined. So we've got Max Voss, James Ellis and Liam Kerr. Unfortunately, they were all involved in incidents. So there you go. What an absolutely epic round 5 there, Big Oos. It was the battle of the draft on the final lap.
Yeah, great photo finishes, as you said there, for battling the draft. And that's only round 5, mate. So imagine what's going to occur for the rest of the season. I think it's time to stop that Ferris wheel so we can jump off there and head on down to have a chat, have a bit of a yarn. Some of the drivers here at Daytona. And I bet you if you go into one of the party rooms that they have here, you will find the Daytona arcade game. You can jump on that and call back some old memories.
Oh, mate, I love that arcade game. But we're going on to Long Beach next week, mate. Long Beach Street.
Oh, love it. Love it. One of my favorites.
Well, there's going to have to be some communication in the driver briefing. Please go single file on the pace lap round the last turn. Please.
Well, there was a lot of fun, mate, with the GTs that we've already been here. Sorry, the Formula. The Formula 2s, Formula 3s and Formula 4s that we had in Long Beach.
Mate, the GTs with a turning circle, the GT3s with a turning circle of a bus. Can't even manage it in some of the officials I was in going around the last corner in single file. And what's worse is they all agreed to go in single file and one of them still stuck it in the wall. And it was just a parking lot after that, mate, because nobody could go anywhere because this guy's spinning and he's doing about a 20-point turn because he don't want to give up his second place or wherever he was and just kept blocking everybody. It was almost like that Austin Powers film where he was in the golf buggy.
Yeah,
and he was stuck in the trolley and he's going boom, and then he was going trying to turn the other way and he's going boom on the other way. That was what this guy did. And in the end, he kind of gave up and just got towed back to the pits. But everybody else was about half a lap away from the leader at this point. So, yeah, so please, in the driver briefing, if anybody's listening, please tell them single file through the last hairpin. It would make your life a lot easier. There you go. That's my my push for the next one. So yeah, so
maybe we can get him some bumper stickers to put on the back of the car. Single file on board. Yeah, please.
James says single file. So have we got interviews coming in, Mr. Wes? Are we?
Yeah. Wes has grabbed one of those canes with the hook so they can pull them in. He's in the move.
No.
We had that.
Nobody in a voice.
I think that's I thought it was a mandatory requirement on your contract that you have to come in for an interview. Otherwise, you're one race ban.
Really?
Yeah, I'm making these rules up as I'm going along.
I was going to say, mate.
I'm going to shock them into coming in for an interview when they hear that. Yeah.
You haven't. Oh, okay. It's a long way down there, mate, in Discord from where he is.
Yeah. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Ryan, welcome.
Good evening. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I am extremely sweaty after that. However, I'm pretty happy with the way that race finished. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it on the stream. It was pretty exciting.
It was exciting. Now, you kind of had the right position going into that last lap because the Favaro just couldn't defend it coming out of the bus stop.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of times I tried to put up the inside. Obviously, at turn 1, I went for round the outside just to try and get him on edge a little bit. But then going into the bus stop on the last lap, we had a little bit of contact and nobody really got put out with that. It was just close racing. And then, yeah, on the exit, I think he had to drop his fuel mixture because at the end, his car sort of died and mine was still going up through the kilometers an hour. So yeah, it was great. I mean, I just wish I had somebody in front of me more of the race so I could have saved more fuel. But if I'd had that, it wouldn't have been near as exciting at the end, I suppose.
Yeah, well, Nespolino unfortunately had a DC during the race, so he just literally disappeared at one point, managed to rejoin the session, fight his way back up to 15th. So it was quite unfortunate for him, but that kind of gave you a free one. We was talking about it, that it is easier here following than it is being the guy in front.
I think because it's such a fuel-saving race, it's always better to have somebody in front, and then you can time your attacks after the pit stops or do fast out laps, in laps. So at this track, if you've got some pretty equal-paced guys, it's always best to have someone in front that you can save the fuel. But unfortunately, when he disappeared, I was then having to save fuel with no slipstream, and then I knew the guys behind me were saving even more. So there was I was pretty much a sitting duck in the first stint. But I think in the last stint, crew chief actually overfueled me, so I was able to push like every single corner, every single straight on the last. Like, I think it was maybe 6 laps, and I was able to catch them up again. So yeah, it worked out well. But yeah, it's pretty unfortunate Luigi had a disconnect because it was shaping up to be a really good race between the 4 of us. But yeah, it was really unfortunate that he disappeared at one point, and I actually pressed push to talk, and I was like, Luigi has disappeared. I've got no idea where he is. So yeah, it was just unfortunate, but these things happen, I suppose.
We're going to Long Beach next week, mate. We were just discussing that we were talking that single file on the pace lap round the last corner at Long Beach?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that has watched any iRacing streams at Long Beach know that. I mean, you'd like to think in a championship that people are going to be a little bit smarter than just a hosted race or whatever, but an official race, should I say? But yeah, I think I'm going to have to turn the rotation angle up on the steering wheel to get around that last turn. But hopefully there's no chaos. I mean, it'll be entertaining for the watchers and you guys, but not so entertaining for us if before the start-finish line at the start we're pointing back way. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, congratulations on your second place, Mr. Mine. Thank you so much for joining us in the booth, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Can I just do some shout-outs, please?
Go for it. Go for it. Who would you like to shout out?
I'd like to just give Altitude a shout, first of all, just supporting myself and Adam with setups and practice and all the rest of it. Also, Sim Stickers, Acetec, Freem, Phil Regan for the skins on the cars. They look pretty smart. And also Adam Hedgecock, who does all of our sim photos and also Sim Racing Studio for supporting Altitude. So thanks to them. Thanks to Altitude. And yeah, I'll see you at Long Beach next week.
See you later on, mate. You take care.
You as well. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bring your swimming togs for Long Beach, obviously in California, so you can go out and have a bit of a dip in the ocean. Be a little bit warmer than it probably. It's probably warm at the moment there in Scotland. And good job.
It's definitely warm enough.
Yeah, and absolutely, you're sweating because you had to defend David there at the end, charging to Pinal, and I think that's a fantastic job because it's very hard to defend and try to get your head down, and that's what you love about motor racing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Bye bye.
You think he was definitely on target?
Adam Edgecock's always on target. I'm sure he'll probably tell me about that as well. So there you go. Any more coming in there, Mr. Wesley? That's it then, Biggles.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Luigi's just doing a big cry in the chat, of course, as unfortunately it was out of his control. But you can bounce your way back again. You did everything you did. You need to put the car on pole, and you did. So at the end of the day, obviously our German driver did what he needed to do, Andre, and the Audi, and gained 3 positions there and took the race win. And be looking forward to a Long Beach. Yes. Thank you very much, James, mate.
No worries, mate. I've had fun.
Coming back in. GTs. Yeah. Of course, we have more racing coming up next week. Of course, we got the F1s, the F3s, the F4s, and back into Long Beach here at the same time, same network for GT. Wes, you want to wrap it up? Or James, you want to wrap it up? Somebody can wrap it up.
Don't mind. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching live, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Turn on the bells for notifications and give the videos a thumbs up. And that is it from us all here at Untitled Racing. From myself, Biggles, and producer Wes, you all take care. Have a safe week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.